part two. I thought I'd call it part two, but it's really not. But it's a continuation of my last video regarding the three-letter office that came to visit me. So I'm driving with a group of men in my car in the evening one night, and my wife calls me and says, honey, the FBI's here wanting to see you. And I said, what? I thought she was kidding. She put him on the phone. It was true. I said, don't y'all know where I'm at all times? And so it's just a joke. But they said, well, we wanted to talk to you and ask some questions. When can you come home? I said, well, I'm going to be home tonight, but it'll be late. Can we do this in the morning? So we actually set an appointment to meet with the FBI. So it couldn't be so bad. So they came to the house. My wife would not let us inside the house. Something that she saw online. Good for her. And I even tried to get her to let her guard down. Let us go in the house so we can sit down around the kitchen table, because they were adamant about going to the house. Why they want to go in the house, I have no idea. But she wouldn't let them in the house. And that was a good thing. So they started asking questions. But the way they started asking questions was more puffery, you know. Weren't you the one who started this? And didn't you begin that? And he started asking me all these questions that I just couldn't understand why they would come and ask me these questions. First of all, I have everything on my YouTube page. I'm in Histories of Things, the first time I broadcast, when I started television, got in the ministry, all the things I've ever done. If I've done it, it's on my YouTube channel. Go check out my YouTube channel. Just remember my name, Clark Ortiz. That's where I'm at. Anyway, but then they started asking me questions about a business that I didn't remember. There's some company I had. I was going to help fund their project. I didn't remember who they were. He said the guy's name, but it was one of those deals that I thought was suspicious myself, that I decided to cancel the contract and the agreement. It was just a memorandum of understanding with a letter of intent to acquire, but then we terminated the letter of intent to acquire when we found out that not everything was on the up and up. And apparently they were being sued. And so I believe what they did, the group that was being sued, I think they wanted to get them to turn state's evidence of others that may be breaching laws. And my name ended up on that list. But I've never broken a law other than maybe speeding. But then after all the questions, you know, it was just all investigations, everything was over. And we're about an hour and a half later, they are on their way out. And as they're on their way out, they stop and they pull the Columbo on me, if y'all know Columbo. Oh, one other thing. They turn around. And when they turned around and said one other thing, there was this manila folder that I knew was in the partner's hands. It was thick, about that fat, and it was yellow. And they went ahead and they handed it to me and said, this is a subpoena for all your electronics, your computers, your phones, everything that has a hard drive, everything that has a hard drive. All my computers, all my hard drives, thumb drives, telephones, everything. They wanted every bit of it. We're talking tens of thousands of dollars worth of items I had to send over to them. Talked to my attorney, and I said, what kind of repercussions do I have? And he said, well, Clark, we know you don't like spending money, so if you'd like to spend money, maybe you can start a defense. But I said, well, I got nothing to defend. So after I sent all of my computers and hard drives and everything to them, it was shortly after that I began to realize all of my followers, we're talking 250,000 on YouTube, and I had a Facebook page that had about 150, 200,000 followers, completely deleted on my Facebook page. My YouTube page, I lost all my followers like one day to the next. I was receiving checks from YouTube, being monetized from them, and all of it stopped. And I didn't put two and two together until after I began to realize it was coming close to the re-election of President Trump. And that really kind of shook me a little bit, because the whole cancel culture began to rise up. Nobody knew what that was. I had never heard of it before. I have never seen anything like it. I began to realize that what it was designed for was to shake the common person who was supporting and propagating certain politicians. And it affected me. I will not deny that. I didn't promote on his second election like I did his first. I didn't get involved in the various campaigns and boards and groups and rallies and such. I didn't. I stayed silent. And that cancel culture and the canceling of social medias and so forth does affect people when they begin to manipulate you and begin to realize that when they can pull those types of strings to cause you to lose things that you never thought you could lose because you didn't do anything. But it caused me to sit back and say, you know what, freedom, also expenses of defense, it's just not worth it. And so then going towards the next election, which we just finished, I stayed quiet again, other than to my closest peers. And so I will say, if there is a manipulation of anything of the election with the social media, I probably need to do a video on that and let you know how that works and how does it affect people and how does it affect your vote when they may blame other nations, though other nations are involved in it. Some of the things that our own nation may get involved in also. Anyway, that's the conclusion of part 2. I had a couple more stories, kind of a little bit more chippery, that I think you'll enjoy later. And we'll talk about those on another one. Hey, get a chance, hit follow, share, comment, connect with me. I'm Clark. Remember, I love you.